It's Mauricio Mejia live on YouTube. Entertainment guru, Silicon Valley entrepreneur, author, and speaker. It's Mauricio Mejia live on YouTube.
Right, this is Mauricio Mejia live, and we are back. Studio B, the all-new Studio B in downtown San Jose in the Sofa District, heart of Silicon Valley. And, it's been a journey to get to this point. We started in a little small studio, and now we got 4 sets. We got different cameras. We got a whole new lighting show. I mean, it's anyways. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to kick off the show. And what better way to kick off today's show with good friend of mine, Chris Olivares. gotta say it with con ganas, cabrones. We're gonna be talking about cigars. We're gonna be talking about whiskey. But more importantly, we're going to be talking about being brought up, raised in LA, Los Angeles, the nightlife scene, and how we were so close, but yet so far apart. And then to meet here in Northern California, the way that we met, it's going to be an amazing conversation. So I'm looking forward to kicking it off. So again, thank you for being here today. Like I said, you're popping the cherry. It's our first one in our new studio. And again, we're still working on all the lights, the sound. So please give us comments, feedback. The team is paying attention to all of this because it's important in order for us to get us to that next level. Guys, in 2025, Studio B Productions is going to be the leading content house, content creators. We're going to be pioneering the future of what podcasts, content creation, all that good stuff is going to be happening here in the heart of Silicon Valley. And why not? We're making it happen. So anyways, man, Chris, what's up, my brother?
Man, thanks for having me here, brother. I appreciate it, bro.
Sounds like a big old commercial before we get there. But, one, I want to say thank you for making the time. Yep. This is a very special day today. There's a lot that's happened even before we got on the air.
That's right.
A lot of things that, I've gotten to share. And over the short period of time that we've known each other, seems like we've known each other forever.
I mean, we kind of have, right?
Yeah.
We ran in the same crews in Los Angeles and everything else without even knowing each other, man.
That's that. And I want to dive back. Let's go kind of like from the beginning.
Yeah.
Let's go back. 20 years? Is it 30 years? I mean, for me, it's actually 30 years because 1993 was the last year that I was in LA. 94 is when I moved to the Bay, and I never went back to LA. But in a very short period of time, I was exposed to so many things in LA just because of the way we grew up in LA.
Yeah, man.
And for me, when I look back and I look at where I'm at today, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Life.
It happens, brother, and it happens fast, man. So you better live life because I'm telling you, it will go and it'll leave you behind if you're not ready. You
That's
know?
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you got to evolve, right? So I'm sure we're going to start with our story of how we met each other. Well,
yeah.
Not really met each other, but worked in the same scenes and eventually worked, our way up to the Northern California, right?
So let's start. Let's start from growing up. What part of Southern California, LA?
Yeah, man.
Because LA is so big. Everyone says LA, but there's different parts of LA.
Right.
People that say that they're from LA and then they say I'm in Anaheim or in Orange County. That's not LA.
No, that's
LA, Orange County.
And they're probably Angel fans too.
Yeah, and
right?
exactly. We're true LA. I grew up in Highland Park.
Yeah.
Period. That's
Oh, that's as LA as you get, bro.
That you can't. Boyle Heights.
Well, they changed the name. Now it's no longer Boyle Heights, but
oh, did they really? What is it?
I think they gentrified it, man.
Well, Highland Park is the same way. I mean, I go back to Highland Park and I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, you see people walking in flip flops and fucking in the middle of the night, and I'm like, those streets, you would never catch anybody walking in those streets.
Yeah, I know, man.
But yeah, man. So what part of LA?
So I grew up in the San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
I was born in LA proper, but my family moved up to San Fernando Valley. San Fernando's big, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some crazy areas like Pacoima and San Fernando proper, man. But we grew up in North Hollywood when it was still kind of quiet. It was still kind of nice. I still go down there, once in a while, man. I look at my old neighborhood and I say, man, I reminisce on all the times that I had there as a kid, man, and fully enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that was some of the best years of my life, man, growing up in the Valley. Now, in the Valley, too, you had a very, very strong house movement, if you will, right? That came from Germany into the United States. It hit Chicago, hit Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And by default, of course, it hit San Fernando Valley.
Yeah.
So that's where you and I come in
Techno
right?
music came in hard.
Music.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Techno music was big in LA in the early 90s.
That's right.
And then the house movement started. That New York, Chicago vibe started to infiltrate the LA scene. And I remember that. I remember experiencing that vibe. But for me, it was techno in the beginning. I mean, I grew up with DJs like Richard Humpty Vision, Richard Vision now, by the way. He doesn't go by the Tony B, DJ Irene, and then all the different DJs that were hitting the scenes hard.
Yep.
But there was also other scenes. There was underground scenes happening.
Yeah, so that's how I started off, man. I went to my first house party, if you will, when I was 13. I think that my boy's like, hey, man, what are you doing tonight? And believe it or not, man, I was at a youth group church gathering. And these dudes caught me at the door before I walked in. It's like, hey, man, it's your 13th birthday. What do you want to do? I said, man, I want to go out. So we ended up going to this place called Monaco's.
Okay.
And Monaco's was a place that they would rent out and they would throw house parties.
Okay.
Man, as soon as I walked in, I saw the lighting, the girls and the knee-high socks.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I saw it all. I fell in love. And before you know it, man, I bought my own DJ system and I taught myself how to DJ so that I could be part of that scene. Fast forward a couple years later, now I'm on the circuit going to Ozone, to the Palace.
Oh, yeah.
Circus,
yes.
Those places in Los Angeles, and just DJing that scene.
Yes. No, I remember all those, the Arena, Circus,
That's right.
the Variety Arts Center in downtown LA.
Yep.
And again, when we talk about the nightlife scene, while you were in that path, because we're not that far apart in age.
No.
And while you were in that scene, I had got exposed to it in the San Gabriel Valley. So there's two valleys here. There's San Fernando Valley, and then there's the San Gabriel Valley, right? And San Gabriel Valley is kind of the LA and then East LA, and then you go eastward, right? So, but the clubs that were happening back then in that area there was Red Onions in West Covina.
Yep.
Fantasias in Puente Hills.
That's right.
There was Peppers in City of Industry.
That's right.
And that was and then there was Quiet Cannon. QC's. And then there was obviously other clubs that were in between those areas. One of the big salsa clubs was Wings in West Covina.
Wings, yeah.
The Safari Bar was another one that tried to do some stuff. I mean, there was so much that was just happening. And at a young age, getting into the scene, I mean, I remember 15 years old, man. I was 15 years old, and the first time I went to a nightclub was the Red Onions in West Covina. Went in there with a fake ID. I tell the whole story about how I got into the club scene. And I remember my first drink of Long Island iced tea.
There you go. That's all you need.
I mean, and at 15 years old, one drink, man, it was like I thought I was in heaven.
One drink, and all next thing you know is you're coming out with a 35-year-old. Right?
Yeah. Hey, yeah, it's 35 because she thought I was cute, and I was like, fucking. I'm thinking like, oof, man, real woman.
She's
here.
like, how old are you? You're like 18.
18.
With a deeper voice. 18.
Oh man. But yeah, no, I just for me, in that I was in that nightlife scene already, and you were in that nightlife scene. So when we say, and we talked about it, we just mentioned it earlier, that we knew each other but didn't know each other, and we now met each other here in the Bay, it's because we were running parallels in life. And at the end of the day, I look back at where I've landed today. I'm obviously in a much better place because we all grow up out of our past, but the journey that we've gone through and the things that we've seen, experienced, man, there's some people that will never experience something like that ever.
Yeah. You know, a lot of times, man, I feel like I grew up too fast. And I'm sure you feel the same way, man.
Yes.
I mean, the minute you're 13, 14, 15, you know, I was also used to play in a band. And eventually when the house music went out of style, I started promoting quebradita parties.
Oh, shit.
In San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
So you know how that goes. So same style of promoting, just different genres of music.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you get into that scene, man, you tend to grow up a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember, man, going, I used to go to Uni High in North Hollywood High School, and I used to start Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was either DJing or playing with my band. Mm-hmm. So I used to show up to school, man. I used to look at people. I'm like, man, these guys are little kids.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to relate quite the way that I needed to relate, because even the friends that I had at that time didn't understand that it was go time on Thursday and it didn't end until Sunday. And when you're talking about a Thursday and then having to pack up all your system or this or that, you're not getting home till 2, 3 in the morning after the club is over.
Yeah.
By the time that you get to school with a whole bunch of money in your pocket,
yes.
by the way.
Oh my God, man, we're running parallels right
brother,
now.
You look at high school and you're like, man, I'm too good for this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
right.
That has its own set of problems as well, too.
Absolutely.
Right?
Then the problem, you've already started the snowball effect.
That's right.
It's happening.
Yeah.
And I understand it, because being in the clubs at 15, 16 years old, and then coming home with money over the weekend, and you pull out at lunch, you pull out a stack of money, and your friends are all like, "What the fuck?" Obviously, people start to make assumptions, right? Yeah. And then you're dressing differently, you're acting differently, and your confidence is at a whole different level.
That's right.
Because high school was not high school for me. And then at the same time, I remember, man, I used to, I'd be tired. Like I would go out on a Wednesday night, a Thursday night, and then I would have to go to school Thursday morning, Friday morning, and I'm thinking like I'm still buzzing from the night before.
Yeah, not just that.
Yeah,
I mean, thinking about the girls that you met the night.
That's
before.
right. Yeah, no, I mean it. And then I'm looking at the girls that are in my classroom. I'm looking at the guys in my classroom. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here?
I know, man.
I'm growing up too fast.
Yeah.
And like you're right. The next set of problems are coming.
That's right.
And part of my problems that I started to see is that I started to lose my focus and my discipline. Mm-hmm. It was just life was a party.
Yeah.
For me, I decided that I needed to find some kind of structure, some kind of structure. That a good friend of mine that was in the party scene was he was an explorer for the LA County Sheriff.
Okay.
So I needed to find a version of a discipline in me to give me balance, because I was bananas.
Yeah.
It was fucking party. Now granted, the party for me was about the excitement. Though I saw the glitz and glamours and the shit that comes within nightlife, that wasn't the attraction. For me, it was the money, the power, and the women.
That's right. So initially the attraction is the lights.
Yes.
The smoke and mirrors, right?
Yes, amen. I wrote a book, Smoke and Mirrors.
I read it, brother. I read it. Yeah, initially it's about that, man. But people like you and I, not that we're different from anybody else, right? We like a certain path, and then we evolve through that path.
That's
right. So there's still things that you're doing here today that you learned back in the days that you continue to do because you love it, you enjoy it.
Yes.
And it brings you a sense of peace, at the same time, a sense of hustle, a sense of being, a sense of wanting more and more and more, right? And I think that's what that did for me at an early age. Just like you, I felt the wheels coming off, man, because by the time that I was 17, 18 years old, graduating high school, I had already done so much. I was already making so much money. And I'm talking about so much money for that time.
For that, I was just going to say, because a couple hundred, a couple thousand was cool, right? Because at that age, minimum wage back then was like $4. $4 or $5 an hour.
That's right.
And if you did a 40-hour, you're never going to come up to the kind of money that we were coming, because it was just, again, fast lifestyle, and there was just a lot of cash.
Yeah. I was no longer shopping at the swap meet, man. I was going to... what was that, Anchor Blue, or I don't know what that thing was called.
Miller's Outpost.
Miller's Outpost, brother.
Then became Anchor Blue. That's right. Yeah.
That's right. So, man, I felt the wheels coming off, man. So I knew that I had to do something. And I always had this love for, even though I wasn't in a setting, I came from a single parent home where there was a lot of discipline. Maybe that's what pushed me over to the Marine Corps.
Oh.
So last year of high school, I talked to my recruiter. He looks at me and he goes, "What do you have to offer the Marine Corps?" I said, "Well, just myself, sir." He goes, "That's not enough. Get out of here." So I think that's what, hooked me. Nobody had ever talked to me like that.
Wow.
Because, in the club scene, DJing, everybody wants to be your friend.
That's right.
Or promoting, everybody wants to be the in-person.
That's right. That's right.
So this guy talks to me, he goes, hey, you don't have what it takes.
Oof.
So,
oof, hit you in the gut.
Yeah, man, it killed me. I looked around, make sure nobody listened, and but then I came back, man, and I said, you know what, this is really what I want to do.
Yeah.
So my idea was do 4 years, gain the discipline that I needed, get out of the situation that I needed to be out of. In North Hollywood, in Boyle Heights, in wherever, there's a couple of different choices. You hit the workforce straight out of high school. You go to college. You go to the military, or you become a bum, right? 4 years. After those 4 years, man, I said, you know what? I really like this. I really like this. And a couple of the reasons why I joined was not only for the discipline, but I hated school, man, for the reasons that I just told you about. And I said, if I join the Marine Corps, I'll never have to take another class in my life. Well, 20 years later, man, I took more classes in the Marine Corps, and I would have probably gotten a master's plus if I would have just gone to regular high school. But I think that path took me in a certain direction, man, to kind of, focus me on the bigger and better things in life. So we talk about a hustle when we were going over and making a couple $1,000s in a weekend in Los Angeles, DJing, promoting, or whatever, to building an empire, building a legacy that your kids can be proud of, man, building a legacy that when people say your name, it rings with a tone.
That's right.
And that's important.
Yeah.
If it's not important to certain people, I don't know what to say. It's everybody's got their own thing, right?
Everyone has a different why.
That's right.
And I know that my why is to leave a legacy behind.
Yep.
And the legacy comes with a name.
So what is that? So whenever I say Mauricio Mejia, what would be the top 3 things that you would like people to remember you by? Because when we all die, we're all good guys.
Yeah.
When Mauricio was the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
But nobody ever says that to you while you're alive.
Yeah.
Nobody ever takes the time to, pat you on the back and say, Mauricio, you're doing a good job, brother.
Yeah.
And this is why.
Interesting.
And
you
these
said
are the
that,
3 things I love about you.
Yeah.
Nobody says that.
Yeah. Well, for me, I've created my own persona, right? I know that I learned work ethic at a young age. I've learned consistency, and I've learned that for me, and I even say I have a mantra of this: nothing or no one gets in the way of my success. So work ethic, consistency, and then my mantra. Why? Because I believe in my heart of hearts that nothing or no one, meaning no situation. And we've seen some at a very young age, starting from the Kuwait wars to the couple of different wars that happened, the Iraq war, 9/11, the fucking housing market crash, the pandemic. There's so much shit that we've seen and experienced that in those situations, even with as indirectly that they had they didn't directly have an impact on me, indirectly they did in the world globally. They never allowed any of that to come and disrupt my focus.
Yeah.
For me, the other part is no one, meaning no family member, no girlfriend or baby mama, family, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, anything. No person will get in the way of that vision, that tunnel vision that I have of what success means.
Yep.
Even to this day, fast forward, I'm going through some crazy shit right now because everyone just sees the highlights. They don't see the back end stuff like we're talking about. And you're right. There's people that don't come out and say, hey, fucking good job, or, hey, or even ask, are you okay?
Yeah. Yep.
People the blinders are on. And it's not just today, it's always been that way. It's just we're more aware of it now.
Yep.
So for me, what I wanna leave behind is that, hey, Mauricio had work ethic, was consistent, his mantra, nothing or no one, okay. But at the end of the day, it's how many people did I also make an impact on? That's what motivates me even doing my show.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to share not only my stories and run parallels with other people's stories because it's important.
Yeah.
We're all unique in our own ways. We all got a story. Well, we need to share it with the world because I know that I got here because someone impacted me one way or another, whether it was a small way or in a big way.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship wasn't because I woke up one day and said, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. No, that's not how it works. I had a gentleman, African-American gentleman from Inglewood, California, said to me, son, he saw that I was fucking passing out flyers or selling stickers on the side of the street. And he said, son, keep doing what you're doing because you have an entrepreneurial spirit. I'm like, I don't know what an entrepreneurial spirit is.
How old were you when this happened?
I was like 15 years old, 14, 15 years old.
And you still remember that?
And I still remember it. And you have an entrepreneurial spirit. Sir, what is an entrepreneurial spirit? He goes, keep doing what you're doing. He goes, you're going to be very successful one day.
Nice.
Boom. And that means he turned on that switch. And from that point moving forward, I looked at opportunities. Mm-hmm. And that's why when Nightlife came into me and they said, hey, we'll pay you a couple $100 to go pass out flyers in the parking lot. Cool. Because a couple $100 at that age, and not only do I slam the parking lot, then I get to go inside the party, and I get to go have some drinks, and I get to go hang out with some chicks, and I'm proudly telling them like, yeah, I'm the promoter, you know.
Yeah, but you say that, but I know the Mejia that you are, the Mauricio that you are, and yes, you are thinking about those things, but more importantly, you're thinking, because I know you, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to start off passing out flyers.
That's right.
But what's the next move?
Yes.
Right, because you're already there.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we think alike and we get along because, you know, we have the same mentality when it comes to moving up, not staying still, not staying stagnant.
Man, that shit just fucking, it gets under my skin. Like, there is no stagnant here.
That's right.
There is no stagnant.
That's right.
There's always continual growth. When you don't grow, you die.
Yep.
And that to me is why people say, Mauricio, why do you do everything that you do? Because I'm continuously growing.
Yeah.
I want to make an impact. You know, again, the stuff that's in the last 60 days that have happened, the last 90 days, this last year, even though it's been a great year, there's been always evolution.
Sure.
Evolving. Business, people think that business, they're putting a show together. They see all the props and all that shit. But do they really know what comes behind all of this?
That's right.
Do they know what you've been through? By the way, thank you for serving in the Marines. Oh. Thank you. How many years total did you do? 20
years, man.
Damn, bro. You said 4 years and you ended up 20 years. So
I got lost, man.
Thank you for serving our country. Thank you for serving us. My sister's also, she served in the Army. Not that I didn't want to. I picked a different path.
Oh, you're good, bro.
I went down the party route and ran with that motherfucker all the way. And
there was a little bit of partying in the military too.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
It's a different version of it.
Different countries, man.
So you go through the military. You do your 20 years there. But there's got to be a lot of other things that are happening in between.
Yeah. So
your vision, you obviously you got a business mindset.
So, when I pass, or I'd like to think that people would look at me as the word that you mentioned earlier on, evolution.
Yes.
Ever changing. Here's why. And I'm about to piss some people off, right?
Woo!
Can we do that?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah. And by the way, I mean, we need to start talking about, or at least tasting the whiskey, bro.
Let's do it, brother. So
before you go deep, go for it. What do we got?
Commercial for Mortlock from Speyside, Scotland.
There you go.
By the way, guys, if you haven't tried Mortlock, the 16 is where it starts to get really good.
All right.
But if you can get your hands on a 20, this stuff is really, really good, man. I was just at their distillery this last year. And, man, these guys are just amazing.
Oh.
You smell that? What does it smell like?
Cherry.
That's right.
Oh, obviously it's oak, right? Some kind of grapes. Man.
Are we just pretending to like say things? And
no, fuck it. I mean, it smells like cherries, bro.
It smells like thongs straight out of a volleyball player.
Anyways, mira, salud.
Salud, brother.
Thank you again for being here. Oh my God, that's beautiful.
It's beautiful stuff.
Oh my God, that's real beautiful.
Very nice.
Wow. No bite, no
bite.
Nothing, just... So let's go. Who are we pissing off?
So let's piss some people off.
Let's go.
No. Before I start this, I'd like to say that I spent 20 years of my life, protecting this country, which I love. But I'm also Mexican, brother.
Oof.
And I love.
I know where you're going with here.
No, you don't actually. I'm not going to keep that out. But I love the Mexican culture. I love the Latino culture.
Yes.
Salvadorian. I know that that's what you are. But we can't forget as Latinos that we're both entities. Okay, and one of the things that I saw growing up is there's a lot of mismanagement when it comes to our lives and our money as Latinos.
Yes.
Let me give you an example. Latinos, us, me, we love to spend $40,000 to $50,000 on our daughter's quinceañera.
Yeah.
All right? We love to put our kids, because they're going to be the next, I don't know, Pelé, soccer players. Yeah. We love to put them in traveling soccer classes and spend all our money on that. But then what we don't have at the end of the day is a college fund for them, right? At least as I was growing up, yes, they were spending on me. I came from a single parent home. So my mom, beautiful woman, did whatever she could to raise me up to where she could. But come the end of high school, if I would have wanted to go to college at that time, it wouldn't have been an option unless I got grants, unless I got whatever the case might be. But so then I learned from that. And then my mom was living, credit card to credit card. Some of them would max out over here. The other ones would max out over there. And so I think that's the first time when I realized in my life that, hey, man, we're doing this wrong. Our priorities are not right.
Right.
So whenever you have the ability to throw a quinceañera for your daughter and you're spending that much money, but not equipping her with being able to be successful, because college is necessary.
Yes.
Nowadays, people say it's not, so on and so forth. That's a totally different conversation. But at the end of the day, the higher educated you are, 9 times out of 10, the most paid you're getting.
That's right.
The most experience you have, the most you're getting paid. But why is it, Mauricio, and your cultura is the same way, my brother, why is it that us as Latinos would rather spend $40,000 in one night with nothing to show for it other than maybe a $1,500 picture package?
Yeah.
But we don't get our kids in the right positions to be successful. Why do we do that, brother?
I don't know. I grew up with a single mom as well.
Yep.
Younger sister. So my mom's priorities were different.
Yeah.
She had to provide food for us and a roof over our head.
That's right.
That was it. So, and whatever little trips or Disneyland or Magic Mountain or shoes or this and that.
Sizzlers.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, all you can eat shrimps at Sizzler.
That's right.
Whatever for me, it was a different situation. So I was brought up differently. When I look at that kind of splurge, I don't know. I mean, it's either pride.
Yep.
It's the Latinos were very proud, very prideful people. We want to show. But I think that what I've learned now, that none of that shit matters.
Yep.
But because we're so there, no one is teaching us that at a young age. We're not evolving. We're just kind of moving along, and their parents of these of these families' parents, and I mean it goes back. It's the lack of education.
There it is.
Lack of, and some family members or some family units, the importance was education. So let's say that it's almost like a 50-50. Some 50% of the Latino population thinks that education is important, or maybe actually less. Let me even because
I think you're giving too much props.
I mean, I would even say even less. I mean, it would be more like an 80-20 split, like 20% of the Latinos that are educated, because there's not a big population of them, and then there's 80% of the ones that are just living, just walking through life.
So I see this. I see the tide changing. At more numbers now, we're graduating a lot more Latinos from college.
Yeah.
Specifically women. So what does that mean from a Latino mentality, right? Let's just imagine a family, a husband, a wife, a son, and a daughter. Why are more female Latinas going to college versus the male counterparts in that family?
I'm gonna say that Latino men want to go work and make money.
Yeah.
And they're thinking more with their male dominance. They're like, they think that money is power, and power is, that's, they can buy power. I'm assuming.
Right.
So I don't if people want to, misquote me or whatever. I'm just thinking, and then the female because the world, the female has been oppressed. Maybe, again, this is my opinion, right? I need some women's group out here to start fucking attacking me. I got love for all my Latina women.
No. Let's have some comments coming here. I mean, this is because we're trying to better our gente, right? And that's what I'm going with this.
Right. And I love the conversation. I love where we're going with this. I think that the women have been more emboldened and blazoned. They want more. And we see this now happening, that women are becoming more independent.
Yeah. Yep.
And they don't need the male figure in their lives because they got their own. I'm just dealing with a situation like that.
Yeah.
Their opportunities are the same as our opportunities. It's just, how do we navigate, right?
That's right.
And some of them, I call them pistoleras or guerreras. And they come in and they're just like,
yeah,
they're handling business.
That's awesome. So
yeah,
that's where I'm going with this. I think that Latinos, as soon as we evolve, and we are evolving right now, and we get rid of the thing where I have to one-up this family on the quinceañera. My son has to go to travel soccer, even though the dude's only 5'2" and never going to make it anywhere else, right? Once we evolve through that process, we're sending more people to college. We're putting more people in power. Now, are we doing it fast enough? That's where I don't think we're doing well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take, for example, California. California used to be Mexico. Not one governor of Mexican descent has ever been the governor of California after it became the United States. Not one. How is that possible? Latinos, Mexicanos, Salvadoreños, Hondureños.
Everything.
I mean, look at this. Mexico, one of the richest countries in the world.
Yeah.
El Salvador has turned around drastically.
Got to give it up to my boy.
Your president, bro.
Yeah, Bukele, he cleaned house.
Right?
Yeah.
And that dude, call him what you will, but that dude is doing some magic in El Salvador.
Absolutely.
Guatemala.
Yeah.
These guys were the first country in Central America to use Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And to this day, all they do is their ATMs are Bitcoins.
Yeah.
Bro, funniest thing, in Guatemala, watching una indígena, right?
Yeah.
With the floral, the beautiful, layout and all that stuff. And they're at the ATM using Bitcoin.
Talking Bitcoin. Yeah. Crazy.
You got Honduras. You got Nicaragua, who are some of the biggest manufacturers of tobacco.
Yes.
You got Costa Rica.
Yeah.
You got Brazil, who are huge into technology now.
Yeah.
Man, we're doing really good as Latinos.
Yeah.
But we need to move it a little bit faster.
How did you get into cigars? Because I got to tell you, man, until I met you, I was not big into cigars, and then next thing I know, I'm at your club, LG Cigar Lounge in San Jose.
Yeah.
And I picked up the habit,
Yeah, cigars, man, have always been. My first cigar ever was in 1998 at the base of Mount Fuji in Japan, brother.
Oh shit! Okay.
I had this high-ranking guy. He pulls me aside. Apparently, I was doing such a good job that he's like, "Hey, come here, young guy. Let me talk to you, man. You're doing such a great job, and here, stick this in your mouth and light it up, right?" So cigars have always been like a celebratory thing,
right?
He felt that I was special enough in the Marine Corps at such a young age. I joined in 1995, so 3 years later, I'm in Japan, in Tokyo. And he thought I was doing such a good job at it, he wanted to celebrate with me. Gives me a cigar, a Cuban Monte Cristo number 2. And as soon as I lit it up, man, it was a sense of more than, focusing on the taste and everything else. It was focused on the experience, man. Yeah. Lighting up that cigar at the base of Mount Fuji made me realize where I was. A lot of times, man, what happens is we are going through life so freaking fast, man, that we fail to enjoy the moments of the journey.
That's right.
We're so focused on the final result, man.
Yeah.
You and I earlier on talked about a venue that we want to get into.
Yeah.
And all I could see at that time is the final product of the venue.
The future.
The future.
We're living in the future, not in the present.
That's right.
And some people get stuck in the past.
That's right.
And I've again, it's like a therapy session here today, man. Hey, right now I'm getting away from the past, focusing on the present because I know I got a bright future ahead.
Yep.
We all continue to evolve.
That's right.
So, yeah, man, it's great.
So putting that cigar, man, in my hand, it made me stop immediately and look at my surroundings and say, Chris, you're a poor kid from North Hollywood, California, who probably shouldn't be alive right now, sitting at the base of Mount Fuji, looking at it, smoking a cigar. I fell in love with the feeling, man.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the feeling.
That's kind of the feeling I had when I first had my first drink.
Yeah.
Inside the club, right? I'm in peak state.
Yep.
Right? I'm in peak state. Fucking lights are hitting me. Music is fucking just energy.
Yep.
All of a sudden I have a drink and I'm looking at it just like,
that's it.
Fucking
you fall into that. That's
hook.
right. That's right.
And
nowadays, if we see a strobe light, bro, we might pass out. We're so old now.
now I look at all the flaws. I can't look at shit the way I used to when I was a
right.
kid, because now I look at, oh, fuck, they could have done this better, or this and that. Or sometimes I'm just
Service
like,
is not good.
yeah, service is not good. Why would somebody ever buy bottle service? I'm like,
Why is this table wiggling? Bro,
like,
I know. It ruins it.
Yeah, it just, anyway, man. Yeah.
So here we are in the Marine Corps, man. Fast forward, I get out of the Marine Corps in 2015. I retire. And then I get into tech recruiting here in Silicon Valley. Made a lot of good money, man. I mean, putting people to work, you know, at Facebook, HP, Cisco, all these companies, right? And one of the guys that I worked with at the time was a member at one of the local cigar clubs.
Okay.
And it was LG Cigar Club. It was in Los Gatos.
Yeah. The town of Los Gatos, by the way. The town of Los Gatos. You can't call that shit a city. They'll fucking get...
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, no, people, they get offended.
Well, they kicked us out, so fuck them, bro.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to have to agree with them. It's pretty fucked up what they did, you know? And anyway, you would think that they would want a cigar lounge in Los Gatos.
Yeah. So, man, I end up joining the cigar lounge, and I meet a lot of good people, man. Yeah. One of the owners at the time, there was 3 owners at the time, and one of the owner of the time had a good connection with a beautiful, beautiful family in the Dominican Republic, de los Reyes. They have been around for about 160 years worth of experience selling tobacco, building tobacco, manufacturing tobacco, you name it, they do it. And La Fábrica right now, the president of La Fábrica is a female. Her name is Nilka Reyes.
Wow, okay.
And it's amazing because this is a business where mostly men are involved.
Yeah.
And this woman is driving a phenomenal business with a great, great product.
She's got the mom's touch, the woman's touch.
Bro, she's amazing at what she does.
Mother Earth, baby. That's why right. Mother Earth is a female, you know?
That's right.
Fuck, anyway, yeah.
So, at that point, my partner, my current business partner, decides that, you know, he wants to make his own cigar. So he invited me into the venture. We flew out to República Dominicana, and you know, most cigar companies, what they do, the smaller ones, boutique, like this one, like Casa de Sueños, what they do is the company itself, the manufacturers will send you 3 cigars, and the cigar on the bands will be A, B, and C. And they have you taste the cigars, and then you say, well, I really like number C or letter C. And then what you do is you go to manufacture on C. So they build the cigar for you. They mix the cigar, they blend it for you. In this situation, it wasn't like that. They allowed us into their kitchen and allowed us to blend the cigar the way that we wanted to blend the cigar and have it taste.
Gotcha.
So it was very, very different from the get-go. Fast forward, we launched Casa de Sueños.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's called Casa de Sueños
is just about to ask, yeah.
Everything is possible, bro. Ooh. All you have to do is dream it up.
That's it, bro.
But then what follows after that, after you dream it up, it's the execution part, right?
That's right.
For some people, it's the dreaming that's difficult. But for most people, it's the execution. The execution, brother, that's where you got to roll up your sleeves. The execution is, you're a business owner, good. You get to clean the bathrooms too.
Yeah.
Oh, you want, somebody's got to clean an ashtray? Well, guess what? I got to get up and do it. I got to mop the floor. I got to sweep the, you know, whatever.
No different than when I was a nightclub owner.
That's right.
I pick up the napkins, the straws, the fucking table. The table was a mess. I got to make sure that my customers are all happy. Everything, the customer service has to be at the highest level.
Of course.
In order to continue that certain standard that you want.
That's right.
And I dream big and the execution part. See, there's not too many people that have both combinations.
Right.
Some people have big dreams, lack of execution. Some people know how to execute, but have no vision.
Yep. So
we're blessed.
That's right, brother.
We're blessed.
Well, there's a reason why we came back together over here in Northern California, brother.
That's right. That's right.
Because you and I have some plans too.
We got some
and
big
those
things.
are coming out 2025.
That's right, baby. That's right. So Casa de Sueños.
So Casa de Sueños is born, bro. We put it on shelves. Currently, it's in about maybe 40 different states. It intended to be, I mean, when we first started off, man, we had little money, brother. We started off making 300 boxes. And 300 boxes, bro, is nothing. And this company, this family that we're dealing with is allowing us to go step by step. Because usually when you manufacture something, it's like, okay, man, if you don't manufacture more than this many units, we're not going to do it for you. Eventually, this company grows into huge manufacturing, 40 different states, and now the cigar is well known.
Wow.
Cigars are in India, they're in Dubai, they're in Guatemala.
Nice.
So not only here in the States, but in a couple of different other countries.
Nice. International player now.
International player, man. Yeah. So as we go on, man.
By the way, when are we going to the DR? Now, is it DR or RD? I mean, you said República de Dominica. Is it the DR or what's the right way to say it?
Well, DR in English.
Okay.
Dominican Republic.
Right.
En
español, República.
RD.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
When are we going, man?
Bro, you tell me, man. I'm excited.
No. Like, can we make it this month, December? Can we make it?
I can't make it this month, bro.
Okay.
I got some things on the table that I got to tackle, but I'll be free after
Now, this is a business trip, right? We're going on.
Of course it is.
It's research and development, R&D.
That's the only reason why we go down there, brother. That's the only reason why we go down there.
I told you, I'm sponsoring the yacht, man. I want to go. I want to go out in the ocean.
Let's do it, bro.
I want to be on the water. I want to have fun. I want to smoke cigars out there. And I want to meet a lot of great people.
Let's do it, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to the people from La República Dominicana. Beautiful, beautiful people, bro.
Nice.
They are on island time, but they're beautiful, beautiful people. Bro.
That's okay.
If you're hungry, you got to order 2 hours before.
No problem. No problem. No problem.
Beautiful people out there, brother.
Good.
So then one of the partners that because I've already sold my shares of Casa de Sueños. One of the partners that I'm partners with in this endeavor is the owner of LG Cigar Club at the time. Mm-hmm. He's got two other partners. Ocean.
Yeah.
You know him.
Love him.
Yeah.
Love him.
Saludo para Ocean.
Yeah.
He comes back to me one day, man. Actually, during COVID, I tried to buy out the other two partners, and the other two partners send me to pack sand. They're like, and I'm like, you're not making any money here. You guys don't come. You guys are never engaged, and Ocean does everything by himself. So at what point are you guys going to be able to sell off your portions and allow me and Ocean to grow this business?
Right.
So they told me no. They send me away. A couple months later, man, Ocean comes to me, and he's really, really depressed, brother. And he says, hey, man, come over here. Let me talk to you. You want to buy my car? And he has an Aston Martin, right? And I'm like, no, I can't afford that, bro. Yeah. You know, I'll
give it to you for cheap.
Yeah. I got a Nissan Sentra 97 though. Nah, so I told him, no, what's wrong, man? And he says to me, hey, man, I just got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And I said, oh, man, that's not good, brother. So I said, what's the plan? And he told me, well, they gave me 6 months to live. And I said, well, there's no plan there. So I think what you should do is go get a second opinion. Fortunately, he had a couple of friends where he was able to get a second opinion, and they said, we're going to fight this. But he comes back to me and he goes, okay, man, I know you've always wanted this club. I'm going to sell you my portions and you could be business partners with my other two partners. I said, I'm not doing that. I said, I'll tell you what I will do. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to buy out your other two partners. And I'm going to allow you to go take care of yourself. Damn. Go get your chemo, his surgery on his liver, all the stuff that they needed to do, man. This guy goes out, he gets better, and he comes back. And now it's just him and I as partners. And I'm holding down the fort while he's getting better. He comes back, cancer-free, brother.
Oof.
Cancer-free.
Amen.
After arduous treatment and everything else that went through his life, man, a year later, the dude is cancer-free. And now we're just growing the business.
I thought I had problems.
Yeah. The problems that we have are minor compared to when people say it's 6 months.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
Unfortunately, some people at that point want to start living.
It's hitting me right now.
Yeah.
Like, I can feel that.
That's the Mortlock you're drinking, bro. That's
like, I thought it was the heartbreak that I'm going through too right now.
That could be it too, bro. That community, bro. Don't cry here, bro.
No,
Don't cry.
Bro, fuck all that.
I'm just
bullshit,
playing, bro.
man.
You
Hey,
can cry, bro. You can
no,
cry.
no. Hey, absolutely. A man that cries is it shows a lot about it. It shows a lot of character.
That's right, bro.
For some people that they know how to interpret it. Others might like, oh, pues anda de pinche llorón este cabrón. ¿Qué pasó? Anyway, man.
So,
By the way, man, it's
great stuff.
we're gonna be down with half that bottle after we're done with this
Yeah.
shit, man.
It's all right, brother. You already ate.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Anyways, man, buy the place. Ocean's doing great now.
Yeah.
We're expanding.
I love Ocean, man.
Yeah, he's a great
Man, I love both of you guys, man. I feel that indirectly I'm part of the family.
You are, brother.
But and directly with you and the relationship that we've established, and just the conversations that we've had. And I want to say, by the way, thank you, because you have been, in a very short period of time, you have done what people that have known me for 20 years haven't done.
Yeah.
Simple humanity, decency. I was having this conversation. It's, breakups don't have to be hard in business or relationships. Just have some fucking decency, humanity. People, you see, I mean, we can't fix the world, but fucking have some decency, have some humaneness in yourself. Fucking this life, I'm telling you, man. And it's tough.
Yeah.
For all the young people that are out there that are coming up, I mean, and they have a different perception because they're seeing the world with a different set of lenses.
Mm-hmm.
They'll eventually get to where we're at, and we'll probably won't be around. But everyone goes through this experience. Everyone has a taste of what life does.
That's right.
And when life fucking kicks you in the balls, whew, that's the real test. That's the real test of who the fuck you are.
Yeah, man. Life's not easy, brother. But it doesn't have to be that hard either.
We make it more complicated,
Yeah, man.
right?
We get into our heads. We do things that, the thing about being a positive person, man, the way that I've always taught my kids, my son, he's 20 years old. I have a 25-year-old daughter. And I always taught these kids, man, I said, when you walk into that room, you make sure you belong in that room.
That's right.
Right? And when we put ourselves in a state of mind that's healing, in a state of mind that's powerful, in a state of mind where you know that you belong in that room at that time and nothing else matters, it makes life a lot easier, brother.
Amen.
At least for me it does,
I'm going to touch on that one. I've never, ever have felt in my life, in my journey, that I don't belong.
Yeah?
And that's because I have no fear.
Not once, brother?
Not once. Not
one time.
I honestly,
and I'm not talking about in your later years. I'm talking about in your earlier years. There wasn't one time where you felt like you didn't fit in?
No.
Yeah.
No, the only time that maybe had even creeped in was when someone made a comment to me, and it fired me up because when I was in, I'll go back fucking junior high, that was really where I think part of I'm going to say with so much confidence of is because I had such a fucked up experience in junior high. I was the popular kid. There was 8 fucking Latino. I was going to South Pasadena Junior High. My mom moved us out of the ghetto, out of Highland Park. I was destined to go to Burbank Middle School, and then from Burbank you go to Franklin, and it's game over.
Yeah.
Right? It's fucking and those days, I mean, every gang was recruiting everybody. You had the Avenues, White Fens, Mara Salvatrucha. You had every Sureños. I mean, 18th Street. Fucking LA was just bananas.
Yeah.
My mom pulled us out of there, took us to South Pasadena. I became a popular kid because I was just likable. There was all white Asian kids. There was probably about a handful of blacks, African American. I want to make sure I don't get attacked on that one.
Comment on that too.
Yeah, please comment on that. Latinos, hashtag Mexican, Salvadorians. Anyways, there was a handful of us, and I remember. I became, since I was popular, I remember that I wanted to run for student body president. And I was excited about it. And I had this lady, I'll never remember, I don't remember her name, and she's irrelevant to me, but I remember she pulled me into the room and she says, "Are you sure that you can do you can do this, because the votes and the energy that was going around, it's like Mauricio Mejia is gonna, and they used to call me Maurice, right? Because that was my English name, right? Or just Maurice, right? It was like Maurice is gonna win. And I remember her name was Teacher Doty. Fuck her.
Doesn't matter, bro.
It doesn't matter. Fuck her. But I just remember that when she almost felt like shamed me, I told myself, fuck that. I belong here.
Yep.
So that switch was turned on at a young age. Immediately.
Right.
So when I walked into a room moving forward, and to this day, I command presence.
That's right.
I expect it. And if you don't give it to me, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Because the only thing that matters is what we think when we walk into a room or into a deal. The person that shows weakness fucking dies.
Yep.
I'm talking business deals or just life, right?
Yeah.
You got to come in knowing your shit, being 100% confident and knowing what you're doing.
That's right.
So for me, that's, So I can say now there's been moments where I have walked into a room and I walk in like that, and then the conversations start to happen, and then you start shifting. It's like a game of chess now. Because you're not going to win them all.
It's always a game of chess.
And I've won a lot and I've lost a lot.
That's right.
But I never put my head down. I always walk into the room with my head up. And I'm more fired up now with all the shit that has happened in the last 6 months for me, because, hey, Mauricio Mejia Live has grown 38,000 plus subscribers. We've built a studio in the heart of Silicon Valley that there is nothing like this.
Bro, after me, those subscriptions are just going to skyrocket, bro. Am I right or right?
We're gonna make sure we're tagging Dominican Republic, all the islands,
everybody.
Cigar worlds. We are going to explode.
That's right, bro.
So yeah, man. Anyways, my confidence level comes from the past experiences. So we are a product of our past.
Yeah. But even that could have gone another way.
Woo! Yes.
Because all those failures that you and I have had, specifically in the entertainment business and pleasing people and making cigars. This cigar right here, man, is a phenomenal cigar. But you walk into some places to sell it and they're like, oh, well, we don't carry boutique cigars. All we do is name brand. Okay, well, people are missing out on this, right?
That's right.
But anyways, we have lost a lot. We've, at that point, what do you do, man, when you fail? You
got to fucking pick up. Dust yourself,
suck it up, and keep going,
and keep fucking moving forward.
That's
man.
right.
That's it, man. That's just the way it is. That's the way we go. And failure is not an option.
That's right.
It's not. And again, I've had my shares of great things that have happened, and I've had my shares of fuck, man. I'm like, right now. Hey, man. I think about the shit that I'm just. I'm just gonna say it, man. Whatever doesn't kill you only makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And you gotta fucking feel the pain. I had a conversation today. I'm good friends with Stedman.
Oh yeah.
And Stedman called me today, and I had a conversation. I said, "Hey, man, give me some advice. Give me some relationship advice here." He's with one of the most powerful women in the world. He's made it last that long. He goes, Mauricio, in life, you just have to be happy and embrace the fact that you can feel what you're feeling. Fuck, I'm like weird. He goes, this might not be helping you right now. I said, no, it's not really helping me. But
it makes sense, man.
But I appreciate it. He goes, come from a place of love.
Yeah.
With everything. I was like, wow.
Well, you come from a place of love with everything for those who deserve your love.
Amen.
Right? Because I'm in a stage in my life, man, where maybe I'm just getting older. I don't know what it is, man. But the same energy that you give me is the same energy you're going to get in return, man.
Ooh, I'm going through a breakthrough right now with what you just said. Because the same energy that you're going to give me, I'm going to give it right back to you.
That's right, bro. And I'm talking about in relationships. I'm talking about in business partners. I'm talking about in everything, man. Dude, you give me a certain type of energy, that's the same energy you're going to give. You know why? Because I've got so much other beautiful energy that I can give to those who want it.
That's right.
And embrace it.
That's right.
And return it. And you don't expect anything in return, but what you do expect is you expect things like loyalty,
Yeah.
You expect things like love, accolades,
Decency, man.
decency.
I'm a big decency person. Like, decency. Be decent.
My grandma used to say, you're going to know who your real friends are if you're ever in the hospital or in jail. Because those are the only people that'll come and visit you, your true friends. Everybody else just says they're your friends, bro.
I have a handful of people, and I can count them on probably 2 fingers.
Yep.
Who those people would be that if I ever got into trouble,
Yep.
I know I can just count on them.
Yeah.
One is blood and one is non-blood.
There you go, bro.
Period.
Other people just pass by our lives, man. They come over and they teach us lessons. And it's like a catch and release, man. Those people are fishing, bro. They throw out their pole and their line, and they fish you in. They teach you what you need to learn, and they throw you back in the pond. And that's okay too, because we need those life lessons, brother. We need to be taught that sometimes giving too much of ourselves is dangerous, and sometimes not giving enough is also dangerous.
That's right,
bro.
It goes both ways.
It does.
It goes both ways.
It's a fine balance, brother.
That's right.
Very fine balance.
It goes both ways. Oh, I can totally relate to that even right now in my current situation.
Yep.
Interesting.
Brother, that's what we do.
Tell me, we got 3 different versions of cigars here.
Yeah, so you got Casa de Sueños, brother.
Yes.
Casa de Sueños, the first cigar that came out.
I love how we can just go.
That's what we're here for, brother. So the first version of Casa de Sueños that was blended.
Yes.
By the name of El Soñador. Okay, right off the
dreamer.
bat, brother. The dreamer.
The
right?
dreamer.
I mean, once again, whenever you sit down, by the way, everywhere else in life, it's about time and money. Okay? You go to a restaurant, you got to hurry up and get out of that table because I need to seat some more people there. You go to a car wash, you better hurry up because I need another car to be washed next.
Right.
In a cigar lounge, nobody's ever rushing you. You take your time with that cigar. And the reason why we call this first one El Soñador is because lighting a cigar and forgetting about what happened throughout the day and imagining the beautiful, beautiful things that are possible makes you a dreamer at that point in time. And that's why the first cigar here was called El Soñador.
Yeah.
The second cigar that came out is Fantasia.
All right.
And this is a stronger, bolder cigar for those who smoke on a daily basis. But the reason why we call it Fantasia is because it goes right con el sueño.
Right.
The same theme of imagining, of dreaming, of having a fantasy, because those can also become reality.
Yeah.
And then the last one that we made, that one took us about 1.5 years to blend because we needed it to be perfect. Lighter cigars tend to be a little bit bitter, so we wanted to make sure that the consumer didn't have to deal with that. So it took us 1.5 years, and we finally named it Angelito.
Okay.
Which is, just like when
Angelito.
you were telling you, hey,
Yeah.
tu Angelito de la Guardia, right?
Yeah.
So everything is
I
dream-based.
don't think I've smoked that one yet, or maybe I have. Man.
I don't think you have, man. That's a very light cigar,
Okay.
not within your wheelhouse. You're a little bit, bolder cigar guy. But there's cigars for everybody. So there's cigars for people who don't smoke much, people who are medium users, and people who use all the time. Tobacco, of course.
Yeah.
But, people love the line. Like I said, I did sell my shares a little bit over 1 year ago, and that's because I'm starting new ventures.
All right.
LG Cigar Club currently is not going to be the only LG Cigar Club around. There's going to be expansion in different locations.
Nice.
And other projects that you and I are talking about where it's more of always around the entertainment business.
That's right. And it's just because it's part of our DNA.
Yeah.
And I think that I was just in LA and I went to Descarga.
Yeah, I love that place, brother.
Oh man, Floridita.
Yes.
Descarga. I mean, it just in Hollywood on a Friday night, jam packed. The salseros in one room, the reggaetoneros in another room,
Yep.
and then you got the in the middle, and you're smoking cigars and drinking, and you got great music, great people, amazing women. It's just the energy too.
Yeah.
The energy, crazy, man. And we don't have something like that. The closest thing we might have that does something similar is the the cigar bar in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Where you can smoke and drink, and it's tolerable there, or it's allowable, But
even then, man, you go there and it's like, hey, man, you got an hour and a half limit on that table. And that's, strange because it's not a full-on cigar bar, right? It's a club vibe scene. A lot of people don't like to hear about all the nightlife that happens in Los Angeles and Miami and New York. But it's needed here in San Jose, man. It is absolutely needed, and
it is beyond needed here.
Yeah, and you've done some great things, man.
And thank you. Yeah, I've had my shares, my successes here in the nightlife industry, and that's what allowed me to springboard and get to where I'm at today.
Yep.
Because entertainment, that's how I branded myself and got navigated through the different situations that I've gotten to. Today now, nightlife is a thing of the past, but it's still in my DNA. Yeah. I'm talking to my business partner, and something that I'm going to bring you in on this. There's one of my good partners and friends, Adrian Gadar, who does all the big Latin shows up in San Francisco. We got Willie Colon coming. We got Ray Reese coming. He always brings Oscar de Leon. He always brings Grupo Nietzsche. And these are the big bands, the ones that are just, they're $50,000 to $100,000. Yeah. But they're going to bring in the masses.
Sure.
So there's a lot of things that we're working on in the future, but I don't want to do it where it becomes my daily.
Yeah.
Because the daily, for me, when I started to depend on that for my lifestyle or for my life, that became a grind.
Yeah.
And I fell out of love with entertainment. And entertainment is in my blood. Music's in my blood. It's in my veins.
That's funny you say that, man. It's by nature in the business that you and I are in, we're givers, man.
Yeah.
We want people to be happy. We're thinking of others before we think about ourselves.
That's right.
And that gets old.
Yeah.
It gets old. But
because they don't reciprocate, right? There's not enough reciprocation.
Right.
All we're doing is giving. And not we're pouring into everyone's cup.
Yeah.
And no one's pouring back.
So a couple of days ago, I had that feeling. I woke up with that feeling of, I'm giving too much and I'm not getting anything in return. But at the end of the day, you know what I thought? Just the following day, I got over it in one day, man. I was like, I love doing this.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Yeah. I couldn't live any other way, man, but to make people happy and experience-wise. Money is money, man. I mean,
money is a byproduct of our work, of our efforts.
Yeah, money, man. I love money. I have money. I'm okay with money. I'm whatever the case. I don't care. But the experiences that I'm able to not only provide for myself, for my family, and for others is what keeps me going, brother.
Yeah.
I like people having full-on experiences, immersive experiences, and not just something, you can go anywhere right now, man, and buy a seat to any restaurant. Yeah. And it's really not about the food 9 times out of 10. It's usually about the experience.
That's right.
Now, if they have some crappy food, that's a different story, but it's always about the experience, man.
Yeah. Now, I've been going to one restaurant in San Francisco for 20 plus years, Cha 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 in the Haight District.
Yeah.
Food is amazing, and the experience or the service.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I keep going to certain places.
What if the food was good and the experience sucked? What would you do?
Oof. It
order takeout maybe, but you're definitely not, going to the store.
It's a tough one. Yeah. It's it'd be interesting. Anyway, man, I gotta say, man, I love hearing the story in depth of Casa de Sueños, and I'm a big fan. I love the cigars. I love the relationship that we've established, that we've built. I also love the experience. There's nothing like that anywhere that I've experienced here in the South Bay, San Jose.
Thank you, man.
Or even in Northern California and San Francisco. Anything that's come close, and I think I touched base with you when I was in Miami. I went to the place right next to one of my favorite restaurants, Havana 1956 or 1956.
Oh, yeah.
There's that little lounge right
Española
there.
Way.
Española, yes.
Yeah, those guys are good people, man.
I went and I had an amazing time with them. And then when I was in New York, when I went to the Davidoff place, now they weren't cool about me letting me smoke in there, but they did sell me some cigars.
How is that possible, man? Buy $200 worth of our cigars, but you cannot smoke.
You cannot smoke them here because that's members. Yeah, but I did get to go on top of a rooftop, and I got to see the entire New York Skyline.
Yeah.
And I think I enjoyed my cigar better there
Yeah.
than in actually smoking it in a ground floor. But anyways,
Yeah.
the point is that, man, I love what you have done. I look forward to the things that we're going to work on. 2025 for me, for us, I think it's going to be a great year because there's a lot of things that I'm seeing to start unravel or unfold. The next 4 years, next 5 years from 2025 to 2030, I think are going to be amazing years for the people that see and feel the vibe, the energy, the vision that have it, and that have paid their dues now. Because if we can make it from 2020 to 2024, the last 4 years,
Yeah.
2 of those years during the pandemic and all that bullshit, and then the last 2 years coming out of it, and then now really kind of unfolding. The only thing that can get in our way is ourselves, getting in our heads, or allowing ourselves to get distracted by the next distraction. Because the next distraction
It's right around the corner, brother.
it's happening.
It's always there.
It's already happening. So, point being is that we got to just stay consistent. We got to continue to do what we're doing. We got to have our work ethic has to be impeccable.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, like what I say to people, nothing or no one gets in the way of our success.
That's right, brother.
My success, our success, anyone's success. It's how bad do you want it to?
That's right, man.
So anyway, man, hey,
get it done, baby.
I had an amazing time today. Thank you
too,
for the whiskey, the cigars. Unfortunately, we don't get to smoke. Not yet. Eventually, in the future, maybe we'll start smoking some cigars in here. But thank you for that, and thank you again for everything, man. I think that there's a lot of great things that are going to be coming up, man.
That's right, bro.
Yeah.
We're going to partner up with some stuff, and we're going to give people some experiences, brother.
Oh man,
Thanks for having me on, brother. Appreciate it,
I
man.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Like, comment, subscribe. Mauricio Mejia live on YouTube.